Gossip Talk Shows. Good afternoon, Gossip Talk Shows family. These guys are disturbing me.
Oh, here we are.
It's Nomsa here, and our topic today is how do you develop a positive mindset? Claudia, you chose this topic. Could you please get in the mood and tell us why you chose this topic?
Yeah, hello, welcome, and welcome everyone. And yes, it's just like it's something and we always need to have, and it always comes handy as well to go back into practicing and getting the mindset focused and strong and positive as well, because in between as well we are a bit thrown out of it sometimes. It just comes with life, and then it's and then I always try to remember myself not to get too much sucked up into the challenges or into the drama, however you want to call it. And then I take the moment as well to come back to me and see how I can be more focused and centered and grounded. And the thing is as well, when we develop, it's not something we actually, I'm not sure if we actually have it. It's something we have to develop and to train and to strengthen, right? To practice. But then it helps us as well how we see the world, through which lenses, and as well how we engage and react to the world outside, to life. This is why it's important as well to have like a good and positive mindset. Carol Ann.
I love your point about our question. Is it something we naturally have, or is it something we have to develop? Because it does seem that there does seem a prevalence of negative thought, doesn't it? Negative mindset. And it's as if you're battling against that all the time. Once you realize that negative and positive mindset, when you're in there, you don't really realize that you're in it, because it is part of life. And I remember when I think about growing up, I don't think I was aware of negativeness, but until I started on this journey and started to see things differently, hear things differently, and realize that actually it was quite negative thinking, perhaps guised in wanting to help or be useful, but it was quite negative. And so, yes, it's a great question. And maybe we don't already have it, or maybe it's part of our evolution, because it comes from that fear base where we started, which then looks for the negative, or is on the lookout for something that's wrong, or could possibly be hurtful. I don't know, but and it's actually moving up. I think it's actually our development and evolution up through into our higher cortex and becoming more operating more from that part of our brain than from the brainstem itself, because I think the majority of people are still operating from the brainstem and from primitive reflexes that control them, and that creates that negative thinking. So I think it's part of our evolution, and it is something we can become aware of and something to develop. Having a strong, or just having a positive mindset. I think the next step is in having a strong one, isn't it? But yeah, I love the topic. I was really aware of this the other day, because I went out for the day on Wednesday, had an absolutely amazing day, just loved it. A goal that a couple of friends and myself had set at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I saw the pictures on Facebook.
Yes, it's like to have this really go to this really
good food.
It was good. It was absolutely amazing. And we'd saved up all year for it, and it's so lovely just to go, I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have that, and not bother about the price. But the service was excellent. there was that gentle presence of our waiter, just listening, just that gentle leaning in to listen, and nothing too much trouble. And it came away feeling, in cloud nine, absolutely beautiful. And I got home, and when my daughter came in, she hadn't had a very good day, and I just started talking with her. And she said, oh, there's this and that. And I just thought, okay. I let her walk away. I shut my door. Thought, no, I'm in this bubble of happiness. I'm staying in this bubble of happiness. And I could really feel the difference between that negative mindset, that heaviness, and the lightness of where I was at. So I think it is that. The key is having the awareness and deciding, no, I'm not going to be there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Positive mindset.
Yes. Yeah. Positive bubble.
Yes, you have to be in this bubble. I was raised by positive parents. My dad was really, he was a positive man, very different. He would do anything to go and see his family. He never ever said, oh, you never came to my house to see me. He was like that person that will just go and visit his cousins, and his cousins loved him so much, and they'll just come and see them. If we don't see any of like my grandmother's sisters and my daddy's cousins, will be like, oh, what happened? So it was that positive, that he would just bring a smile to somebody when people feel there was no hope. He always knew how to bring hope to other people's lives. And my mom, she's just amazing as well. So I was raised by people that they gave me a choice, and my stepdad, who I could become. I had that choice, that if I wanted to become this, they wouldn't lie to me and say, Nomsa, we want you to be a doctor, we want you to be this. So they were always positive, that we support you, whatever path, because they love to talk, sit down and talk. So my siblings did not like that part where parents preach. So me, I was so curious. I would just listen to them. And when they preach, I'm like, how do I save my life myself then if I want to be a good example to my generation? And they'll be like, you have to do this, you have to be this. At the end of the day, choose the path that you want to take. But when I got older, came to the UK, things changed. Because when you become a young adult, you want to fit in. You want to be accepted. There's this thing in the society when you have friends that if you don't do this, like behave like us, you become the odd one. People will be like, this one, she's odd, or she's this. So I tried to fit in, but it didn't work. In the end, I just decided to go back to my childhood and listen to my inner child, and it just got my personality back. And is so nice when you develop a positive mindset. You dress different, you walk different. When I'm saying you dress different, it means you'll be unique, choosing your own style. You will speak different, speaking your own language that people don't understand, because that person is you. And everything you do will be different, because you'll be doing it. Your mind will create that bubble of, this is the person that I want to become. Like, take me as I am, whether you want to accept me or you don't want to accept me. So I love this topic, Claudia. It's a beautiful topic, but it's not an easy thing. The thing is, why it's not easy is because we try to please and try to fit in. Carol Ann and Claudia, how do we actually develop our own mindset, more own positive mindset based on our characters and image without trying to fit in with other people?
Yeah. Fitting in everything, yes, obviously, I was guilty of this too. Absolutely. And then I was thinking, because when you described it, I understood as well back then when I did it. I wasn't happy about it, so it didn't feel right. So
Yeah,
I
miserable,
was,
makes you
yes,
miserable.
yes. I was with this group of people. I tried to be one of them, and pretending it felt fake, and deep inside I was just not happy about it. So this took some time as well to realize. Obviously, it's always good you try the things and you realize afterwards, because only then you understand it's not for me. No, thank you. But I think as well to come to the conclusion to it's okay to be yourself, and it's good to be yourself, and that we are all unique, and even our quirkiness is beautiful and fantastic, because we are all unique and have all our own faults or quirkiness, and this is actually as well the beauty of it. And I'd say as well it takes some time, you know, for people to accept this, that they can be just unique without having to prove. It's this proving energy, but it comes as well from childhood, because we want to be liked and be praised, and this is this proving thing. But obviously this is a very big realization in regards to, hey, I don't need this, I accept myself, and then it adds up as well to the mindset, because when you know who you are and you do the things, even though sometimes the people outside say, oh, you're weird, but then actually you might meet along the way, you will lead these people to go out of your life, and then down the line you meet new people and they are more like your kind, then actually you understand as well it was really good to have walked this path, have had this experience, because now down the line with the new people, like-minded, you feel happier and you have as well a better mindset, because the people we surround ourselves are important too in regards to our well-being. So just like, yeah, just look around as well. Are there some people who are like energy vampires, and we all had them at some point, you know, like we go to them, we speak to them, and afterwards we feel like so, yeah, it's just like so empty and tired, and we just knew they were sucking our energy, you know. It's just so, this is actually as well, yeah.
Yes,
Right, Carolyn?
yeah, and actually, it's, I think
Mm.
the way I see it and think of things is that, yes, you meet new people along the way. Some sort of fall away by the wayside, and you meet new people who are more positive. But I think that's because you're attracting them, because you are more positive.
Mm.
And therefore you're attracting them into your circle of existence and living. And so therefore that's why these people, they just show up, because you're attracting them. And it is being aware of if there are some negative Nancy's, as you want to call them, negative Nancy's, it's still in amongst your circle. It's like, well, what part of you has still got that little bit of negativeness? And, you know, and it's actually being able to be present to that negativeness. But as, you know, Nancy says, it's about, it's not trying to fit in with them. It's just being yourself. And you can either accept that them for who they are and just keep bringing the conversation up, you know, refusing to get drawn into it. You have a choice. You don't need to sit there and feel and get drawn down into that energy. You can sit there and, you know, lift your own energy up. I mean, that's what very often I do in my mind. I just go, okay, this energy's gone a bit too flat. I don't like it. I shift it. Just, it's like a zipping up, because you've got that the central meridian flowing up the front of your body, that energy line, and you can just zip that up, you know, just lift your hand from bottom to top and away, and that can just help to lift your energy. So it's just something you can do physically or just in your mind's eye. Just bring that energy up. It is, first of all, it's having that awareness of what's happening, that you don't need to be sucked into it. You don't need to fit in and be a part of that conversation. And I know that sometimes I will just zone out. If I hear that conversation has gone quite negative and I'm thinking, oh, not really enjoying this, I'll zone out, lift my energy up and go, okay, what can we talk about now? And then I'll just pop something else into the mix and just go, okay, let's lift it up again, leave that behind. So you do have a choice. You can lift it, but it has to be a conscious, I don't want to say effort, because it isn't always an effort. It's a conscious action. It's having that consciousness about it and just doing something. So that's something you can do, that certainly, but you find more and more, you get more positive people. Those negative Nancy's just do, drift away. And so we can just use them as learning about ourselves and recognize where we are perhaps still a bit negative ourselves. It's a great learning, but certainly know who you are. That was a great comment you made there, Claudia. You have to know yourself. You have to know what's right for you, what you're willing to put up with. It's setting your boundaries. What are you willing to put up with or not? And really know your own mind. Know what you want, you feel comfortable with, and what you don't feel comfortable with. And something I grew up with and was, always watch the news. I never watched the news. I still don't. But I always was made to feel wrong because my ex-husband, he was an avid news listener, wanted to know what was going on everywhere. And it was too negative. I hadn't realized that there was part of me that realized it was negative. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have that conscious thinking then. It just didn't feel comfortable to me. So I didn't want to listen to it. And I used to be made to feel wrong. Well, why aren't you watching the news? Don't you know what's going on? Well, now I'm quite happy to say no. I don't know what's going on, and I really not bothered. It's that negative side, and I just keep sending out the positive energy and thoughts. Whatever I'm meant to hear, I'll hear, and then I'll deal with it as I do. But not get drawn into it and think, oh, I need to listen to everything that's going wrong in the world, because what about everything that's going right in the world? Where's all that positive thought? And so that's very often where my mind goes to. And I think there is that, it's said about be happy, know who you are, but it's about being happy with yourself. And one way of doing that is stop comparing yourself to other people. We've said this before, isn't it? Compare to despair. You are you. And something you can do to get comfortable with you is identify your strengths, but also identify your weaknesses and accept your strengths and these your weaknesses. And then do something about your weaknesses. Work on them. Because by working on your weaknesses, your strengths get even stronger. But it puts you in a place of power because you know yourself and you accept yourself. And it is about accepting. When you can accept yourself, warts and all, that's a really powerful place to come from. What do you think, Nonsa? You're still muted.
Okay. Is the Deepa, did I pronounce it right? He says, I have got to learn a lot from this live section. So meaning I think is learned a lot when it comes to positive mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Gossip Talk Show's family, if you're watching us on YouTube and if you're watching us on LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, feel free to get into the conversation. We'd love to hear about how you guys able to cope with this positive mindset to keep it going. And I love when Carol Ann and Claudia, you both saying you got to know yourself. And Carol Ann, you say we all have a choice in life who we want to become. And we have a choice to have this awareness of our conscious action. And knowing yourself is very, very important. If you know yourself, for me, I rather have one friend in this world than having people that don't actually understand my life, who I am and who I want to become. And I always said to myself, I wouldn't want to compromise my emotions and compromise my mindset or compromise my life for other people just because they don't understand. Because sometimes, and Claudia, you said sometimes we do things because we want to be liked and we want to be praised, we want to be accepted. There's so many reasons why we do things for people to like us, for people to accept us. But guess what? For me, I go with the Bible. The Bible says, come as you are with your burden. So if I go and somebody's judging me, who am I to actually say, I'm actually going to try to fit in right now with you, so you're going to like me, so you're going to understand me. It doesn't work like that. And Claudia, you mentioned that you get frustrated. I tried to fit in before, and I was miserable. From a happy child, I became miserable, and I was like, I don't want to live like this anymore, and I do not want to feel like this, because I wanted to walk like my friends. They go and buy clothes, and I want to buy something similar. I want to look good. But I'm thinking, to me then, I thought I was looking good, but I wasn't looking good because I didn't do the things that I was meant to do. I didn't actually do me. I did me when I was in Africa, just buy my own clothes. I would just dress up nicely. But when I came to the UK, I met friends and just going out and trying to fit in. And Claudia said, you become miserable. And even when you are dating someone or whatever you do in life or at work, if you try to be something that you are not, you become unhappy. So many people that are unhappy because they lose themselves and they want to try to fit in. For me, I am actually, I have my own company, but I'm a different boss. Don't come to my life and try to fit in with me because it's not going to work. Show me who you really are. And I know that the real you that is in there is a very, very talented real you that can bring business. So that's what I'm looking for, not something trying to fit in with Nomsa. And I remember with my daughter one day, they suggested to go camping with our dad. And I was like, guys, I don't like camping, so I'm not going to do it because of my daughter. I do not like camping. And they were like, why? And I was like, I like camping, proper camping, where I'm going to go and stay and enjoy, like have a barbecue and camping, like eating the wild food and cooking like fire and things like that. So I was like, this camping where I'm going, stay in the caravan or maybe share toilets with people, I don't do those kind of things. So my daughter was like, okay. And then her dad pretended to like camping. And then when she turned 10, he was like, actually, I'm joining your mom. I don't like camping. So he joined the club. And she understood because she was older. So there are so many things that we do in life. We just there and trying to fit in with other people. And we go to talk shows, I watch someone else's style in the way they introduce people. Then I try to fit in with that person. It doesn't work. But when you just become you I think it is an amazing person, and I'm glad that you guys, everyone that I work with at Ngozi Talk Shows, you bring out your own personality. You know, you don't try to actually be somebody else. So I love that, and also, Carol Annie, you touch the boundaries. Boundaries are important. I call them principles. You have to know your values and your principles. And once you know your principles and you create those boundaries and say, you know what, this is how I like to be treated. God in the Bible scriptures, if you read the scriptures in Genesis or go to Exodus, go to whatever 10 commandments, he says, if you want to enter my kingdom, you got to obey the 10 commandments. That's his choice. He says that there are other gods. He is very, very clear that there is other gods. But if you want to worship me and you want to be in my kingdom and experience the love that I have, you want me to share the love that I have, you got to be this character. And I think for that, it shows us that if he can do that, so you can as well, not in an ego way, or you can create your own principles and your own boundaries, like Carol Ann, how do you like to be treated? So you got to let Nomsa know, this is how I like to be treated. And this is Claudia, how do you like to be treated? You want to enter Claudia's life. These are my values, these are my beliefs. So we can share my values, we can share my beliefs, you can listen to my beliefs, but you don't have to actually let me think that your beliefs are better than mine. So it means we can be friends, listen to each other, and connect with each other, and have fun, have some food, Carol. We can have some food.
Food, eh? What food? Ooh.
Yes.
Yes. Have a party.
Yes, we can have a party. What do you think, Claudia?
Yes, something in regards to how you want to be treated by others. So as well, if they're just obviously be have the boundaries and have your principles as well. Like you say, I like that. And if there's someone who is not treating you the right way, just look as well within you, where on some level are you not treating yourself as well to this extent, how this person is treating you? Because I'm as well a big believer of everything outside is a reflection of you inside. And sometimes, no, not sometimes, often we are not even aware of, all the stuff which is happening as well inside of us. Something else in regards to a strong mindset. What is actually your morning routine? So how do you set the day? How do you wake up in the morning and set up the day to be with what type of thoughts and thinking as well? Obviously, we all know by now when we wake up and we didn't sleep right and just it doesn't go well already in the morning. And when we stay in this energy, it's more likely as well, it's the cause that we stay in it, and then circumstances are repeating itself just to mirror us back our not so positive energy. But what if you come out with a morning practice, like whatever it could be for you too. I like the idea as well to set some grateful things in the morning, or you can do it in the evening, but morning is good as well because it brings you sets you up for the day, or when you have certain things going on for the day, meetings or encounters, whatever it is, bring yourself already in the morning into this mindset, setting the intentions for how you would like the meeting to go. So you play with it, use it. It's your mind and we have to use it, and we have the choice, how Carol Ann said, how we use it. Just really, we always have a choice, and choosing not to choose is a choice as well. And again, here, don't expect immediate results and shifts, because we do know by now it takes some time to practice it, to build a new habit. It's like going to the gym, and you have to train the muscle. Something else as well I like to do in the morning is I say to myself, today I'm going to do 1 or 2 or 3 things for the day. And then I make as well sure that I accomplish them. Because I have found as well, when I stick to the things I say and I do them, I feel better as well about myself. It gives me as well like, yeah, I feel good, more in control, more confident about my life, and it reflects as well into the mindset. What's your morning routine, Carol Ann?
That's a really good question.
Mm.
I don't really have one that good at the moment. It's changing. I'm in flux
Yeah,
at the moment.
yes,
I used to
absolutely.
have one that
Yeah.
set me up for the day and got some actions
Yeah.
done and complete, and it felt good. It's like, yes, I've done that, tick that off.
Mm.
And then that's just fallen by the wayside. And it is something I want to get back to, because I've realized the impact of not doing these actions is having on my business and actually growing my community or my Facebook group. It's like it's leveled off because I haven't been taking these actions.
Mm.
And so I need to bring those back into my morning routine. And I've just had a thought, actually. Maybe they ought to be my afternoon routine.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they don't really fit. Oh, I just see it's just like,
yes,
maybe
these are downloads. Yes,
exactly.
Mm.
Maybe it's what we're trying to do. If it
Mm.
doesn't stay, it's perhaps not right for us in that moment, or it's not something that really feels that comfortable. Try it somewhere else. Maybe that routine you had needs to fit somewhere else in the day. And maybe so I'll play around with that. But I certainly do need to have more structure for my morning, because it's about waking up, having that positive thoughts or actions that help you to set up yourself for the day, take you through the day, rather than that, what am I going to do today? Don't know. And it's like you're already in a downward spiraling mental state. You haven't got that full positivity. Rather than if you set yourself up at night before you go to bed, you say, right, I'm going to do this, this, and this. You have that positive. So really doing it at night before you go to bed, and then waking up in the morning, and again having a routine that picks up from there to see you through the day. So I'm thinking, as you were talking just now about morning routine or evening routine, I think we need both. One to help us to go to sleep with a positive mindset, so we perhaps reflected on the day and looked at, well, that went well, and really be positive. But also the things that didn't go so well, put a positive spin on them. Acknowledge, okay, well, I didn't get that done, and it's okay, I can do that now. Or maybe it wasn't necessary, but I've actually got this done, which was more important. Just talk yourself through it and create that positive feeling before you go to bed with a plan. And then you can wake up in the morning and go, okay, let's do some, there's other actions that you can take in the morning. So create your morning, create your evening to set yourself up to sleep well. Because actually I had a really good night's sleep. I went to bed really late last night. It's because I went to sleep on a real high. I'd achieved something, I'd completed something. I went to some training about creating a webinar yesterday. And although I've done it before, I only got partway through it. So yesterday helped me to develop it even more. And what we needed to construct yesterday, I continued afterwards. The training stopped at 8 o'clock, but I found myself just carrying on through the evening. I was amazed, and it was like I didn't stop. I didn't go to bed till 1:30 because I'd finished it. Something clicked within me, and it was like, oh, that's it. I was able to sort out the details, and I felt, yes, it all fell into place. And then I had to change it in other places as well, because it was all, you know, you do it in one place and you type it somewhere else and you've got to find it. And I literally tidied it all up and then I submitted it. And I even woke up this morning going, wow, I did it. It feels good. You know? But what I didn't do, okay, I've got a plan of things to do today. And I started some of them, but I need to get that morning routine to kickstart me a bit more into it. But it felt good and I slept well last night because I was really focusing on that worked. There was something grounded in what I'd done. It was complete. I'd submitted it. And I'm thinking, yes, I can do this now in a way that I've not felt I can do, you know, put on this webinar. Okay, this is the next steps to do. But this particular point, yes, things are tying in together. So yeah, an evening routine, a morning routine, so that you can pick up those negative thoughts and bounce them back up again. And it is the countering those negative self-talk. It's been able to catch it. That's the key thing, catching it. Because very often we don't catch it. It's there and it just goes, you know. You say, no, I've never done this before. Can't do this. I've never done it before. Catch that thought. Twist it around. What a great learning opportunity this is. You know, and all of a sudden, your whole mindset changes. But something I did last night in the training, I had got to a point where I was getting a bit frustrated with it and just thinking I can't do this. And then I found myself in that state of, I hate words. They just won't cooperate with me. I just wrote it out, just wrote it down and went, okay, this is that old familiar pattern. I just wrote it down, acknowledged it, moved on, and just then all of a sudden things started to change. And I found myself being able to put things together. I think I got up and had a walk and came back again, you know, just to shift it. But having acknowledged it, it stopped having so much power over me, because I started thinking, whoa, well, this can go in my training because this is actually part of what I'm talking about. You know, when people are having a writer's block, this is, so I started being able to put it in a positive way. This is something I can talk about because this is something I've experienced and this is something I've worked through. And you can get through the other side. You don't need to sit in it for as long as you do and for as long as I used to sit in it, you know, and bounce back out. And then things just come together. So, yeah, certainly routines, but catching yourself, countering that self-talk, twisting it around, put a positive spin on it. And Nomsa, camping is our, how can you say? You like caravanning and camping. Oh, I love camping and caravanning. That's how we used to have all our holidays. I just love it. But I do get it. It's not everybody's cup of tea. For me, being in a caravan is just magical. To wake up in the morning, there's just something magical about it. And even when I had my own, well, I still got my own touring caravan. It's just a little 10-foot caravan. It's at my sister's at the moment. But when I had my own house, the caravan was on the drive. Very often I would go and sit in my caravan and I just feel like a million miles away from home. I was on my driveway. I was in my caravan and I had that feeling. It was just amazing. It was just an amazing feeling. And I would sit in there and just work, read or whatever, but I just felt like I was a million miles away. So it's maybe getting somewhere where you can shift your feeling. Where is it that you just get that beautiful?
I love the real camping caravan where I take the tent and camp without cheating and
yes.
just have this barbecue and just experience the wildlife, not this cheating where I'm still going to a glamorous life and then I'm thinking I'm camping. To me, it does not make sense.
Okay.
So I'm an African girl. I like to go camping for real. When I go
Yes.
camping, I got to go camping and I got to eat, like make fire and cook food. And I love that smell, the real smell of fire. And when I'm just doing the real things. So when I'm like, I'm going camping and I'm still gonna have to maybe use a cooker inside the caravan, it does not make sense to me. I feel like I'm cheating. So if you want to take me for camping, take me for a real one, maybe summertime where they do the tent, where I can just sleep outside in my tent and just feel good and go in the bush and just experience the nature. Then I'll be like, wow, I'm enjoying life. I'm really in the camping. But where I'm just gonna go camping and then having like meals, like when I'm in my city, it does not make sense. I like the real thing.
There is something different about being in a tent, and I loved being in a tent. As well, there is a lovely feeling about that.
I love being in a tent where I'm just gonna have when we were young in Africa, we used to like go outside and just play outside and just I just love that. So to me, that is camping. When you watch the documentaries, they have tents, they make food, they go and find food. That's the real thing. That's what I like.
What about the glamping? Nomsa, glamping is the new thing. We call it glamping. Something you might like, Nomsa.
What's that?
What is it, Carol Ann?
It's pre-set up, isn't it? It's pre-set up tents. Or even structures.
Google it. It's the new thing. It is as well possible in the UK. Glamping. It's a bit more posh, a bit more sophisticated, you know.
But it's already set up.
Yes.
There, or it's a tent, or it's
more space as well. It's a bit like in Africa, I think, the tents for the safaris or so on. Oh, Carol Ann?
I think so. I've never actually been in one. I've just seen pictures.
Okay, I have to look it up.
Please.
Sounds good.
Please. Glamping. It sounds good, actually. Yeah,
I've got to look it up. I don't like somebody saying, no, so we're going camping, and when are you taking me? We're going for caravan, and you see this glamorous caravan, and you go in, there's toilet, there's everything. I'm like, that is cheating. That's not what we call camping in Africa.
I got you.
So camping, it means I have to carry my rucksack, I have to carry my my tent, I have to food. It's like a survival. What am I gonna eat? So I have to think, what am I going to eat in that day, and to carry food, and it's just so fun. I love that. And I'm sure in the UK there's a place where they do this. I'm sure there is, where you can just go and do camping without cheating. The real camping.
There's lots of places you can just go camping. I mean, we used to do it as kids. I'd go away for a weekend. I'd just walk the hills. We'd camp overnight and walk back home again. So
give me that. Give me wildlife where you say, I love that.
Which helps as well to develop a good positive mindset, right? Nature.
The nature outside. It does help. Because you'll be like breathing the nature. We don't get really much time to breathe in the nature, don't we? Even like go to the gym, go swimming indoors. And for people who are working really, if you are working really like long hours, some people, they have to join the gyms where they work in order for them to keep up their healthy routine. So with this busy life, it can be really, really tough. But when you do get time, just enjoy the nature outside. 1 hour, half an hour, just walking. It's so beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. I like it, Carol Ann, when you actually say never make things wrong, because we tend to make things wrong. But the Carnival thing, I'm always honest with my children. It's like, now I'm out of Christmas. I don't like Christmas no more. I love Christmas before, but he has made me question, what is Christmas about? And some people tell me Christmas is all about the birth of Jesus. And I'm saying I need a proof in the Bible where Jesus was born on Christmas Day. No one tells me anything. But then I'm like, okay, I understand the part of celebrating Jesus. What about the people getting into debt on Christmas time? Where because honestly, in January, some people don't have money. And to me, it doesn't make sense that if it's the birth of Jesus, that we all like now getting into debt because you want to make Nomsa happy. So to develop a mindset, I'm not against people that are actually celebrating Christmas. Is the place of joy, a time where we spend time with our family. So I always tell to my children that if it is the time we spend with my family, yes, I'm going to spend time with you guys and I'm going to buy you present. So I'm like, but don't buy me present, because I need to make sense of Christmas. And to me, as an older person, you guys are younger, you don't understand it. So you're going to make your own choice when you're older. So I'm like, I don't understand it, that Christmas has to make people go into debt and things like that. But that is my own mindset as well. So I never, ever make people wrong with that. Why are you celebrating Christmas and things like that? Because I used to celebrate it until I actually checked me out. And I was like, but it does not make sense that somebody has to spend money to come and spend time with me. And they have to buy me a present. Without present, it's no Christmas. So I'm like, I think Christmas is meant to buy food, eat loads of chocolate, drink loads of whatever you drink, and have fun. So that's what I tell my children, that this is my mindset, that I've made up my own mind, that I think that I don't want to celebrate things that I do not understand what is about. And before, when I was in Africa, I used to go to church. We go to church on Christmas Day, and we eat loads of food. And then people, they do buy present as well. And then now I come here. My daughter, my oldest one, on Christmas Day, her first Christmas, she was 1. I think the whole living room was all about her, honestly, because she was the only grandchild. It was all about her. And I was like, this is like Christmas, but we get excited anyway. So you have to decide your own mindset. You have to not try to fit in. I love people that are authentic. And I love people that create boundaries and have principles. It shows that you know who you are. When you create boundaries, when you create principles, it's like myself, when I go home, my family, they know that there are things they can't say in front of me. There are things that they can't do in front of me, because not because I won't agree with it, it's because I won't get involved. I got home one day and they were talking and having conversation. I could see my mom, she's trying to shut them up. She's trying to shut everybody up. And I was like, I'm looking, I was like, why are you telling them to go quiet? My mom, they were talking about my uncle. My mom goes, you do not talk about people when Nomsa is around, please. But she's the one that raised me like that, like not to talk about people in front of them. She always say, if there is something you want to ask, you should always go and ask the person. So they're busy talking about my uncle. Everyone is saying he's having an affair. And then he walks in. I'm like, uncle, could you please speak to them? They want to know what you get up to. Can you explain to them? They are busy gossiping about you. And uncle goes, I'm just working long hours. I need the money to support my family. And everyone, instead of just asking the simple guy, why are you working long? Why are you coming home late? And my mommy goes, that's the mindset that I have. That's how I was raised by my family, that if you want to know something, don't wander around. Or if I see Carol Ann, like maybe let's say your character is changed, because people change for reasons. Sometimes you could change because you're going through something. And me, I'm busy assuming instead of asking Carol Ann, is everything okay? You see that guy, he took his own life, Twitch. And people, did you see him from that woman's show, the Elaine's show, the DJ? He took his own life a few days ago. Was it last week or this week? When I saw it, was it yesterday? It was a few days ago. Yeah, he took his own life, gunshot. And people do that all the time. And this guy is always happy. He's always really, really happy, dancing and smiling. People do that because not because we are failing them. It's because sometimes when you don't ask someone what is going on, we assume that everything is okay. I have a friend as well. She took her own life during lockdown, but she was happy. There was never like any signs of something that she could do. So it is important. I always say to people, if you want to ask something, you see something that you don't understand, ask. People call me old. Apparently I'm old, I'm weird, but I'm not. Always ask a question. And in this house where I live, they know I will ask. They call me nosy Parker, but I ask if someone is behaving something like, or they're happy, I just have to say, can you share? Why are you happy? Share the news with me. Or if I see someone is grumpy, I just say, do you want to talk? And they're like, no, I don't want to talk. My children, they're like, I don't want to talk right now. Then I leave them alone, as long as I've offered that help. So the reason I'm sharing this is some people try to fit in with other people and then we end up being miserable. Because when you share your life, when you try to fit in, you lose your own identity as a person. And when you create, like you go watch the news, celebrities, how they dress, and you go and buy their style, you lose your own identity, your own image. And when you see somebody speak their own personality and you try your friends, you try to copy them, you lose your own identity as well. And you become miserable. You can't be happy if you're copying someone else's, but that true authenticity is very, very, very important. So I don't know what you think, Claudia, and anyway, it's gone to 2:00 now. So if anyone is watching us at Nkosi Talk Shows, Nomsa, Claudia, Carol Ann, would love to have some stars, guys. You can give us some stars on our page, and those stars that will help us to reach more people in our community. And Carol Ann, if anyone is watching right now, could you please introduce yourself to our audience and tell them where they can find you?
Yes, I'm the writing facilitator, and you can find me on LinkedIn or Facebook. My name is Carol Ann Cooper, and I've also have a Facebook group, which is called Get Your Book Written. Because what I do is support women in becoming more productive with their writing, and specifically actually about getting their story written. Because as Maya Angelou says, there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. And that story is the one thing that will move your life forward, will help lift you up, because it is heavy when you have something to share and you're not sharing it. So that's what I do. I help to unlock the writer within, get those words out, and get that story written. And so if you're in that space of wanting to get a story written, you started, but you don't know, haven't carried on, get in touch. Let's see what we can do. And what about you, Claudia? I'd like to say you do.
I just realized actually that I am as well a mindset coach. Isn't it funny that obviously I picked this, just I didn't, I'm an intuitive energy healer and as well a mindset coach. And I help my clients to identify the very root of the cause, whatever it is they're experiencing. Not just to go to put a band-aid on, just like really to go and finding out the root cause so that we can get it, shift it, and change it actually as well the other way around. So just like something last for the mindset thing before I forget and before we go off. So again, just be gentle. It's not a fast approach. It takes some time, to understand it and to work on it and to build it and to find as well the ways which work for all of us individually to help us to be more positive and to be more confident with our mindset and life and the challenges. Listen as well to the self-talk you have. This is good advice too, just like, what's the voice inside you telling you? So just like listen to it and identify as well, the positive and the not so positive voice. And to the not so positive voice, we all have them. There's as well some wisdom in it because they want to protect us actually as well. So just like be gentle, a careful observer, say thank you as well to this part of you, but say as well, thank you, but I got it, and then you turn around and do the thing you have in front of you and you would like to do as your next step. And as well, podcasts, YouTube, inspirational videos, reading a good book. This is as well what I do if I feel a bit down, I grab something, I listen to it and or I read a good book and afterwards as well, just like I take out some downtime for me where I do fun things for me, which shift my energy. Thank you.
Of doing fun things. I love doing fun things. Me when I'm not here at Ngozi Talk Shows or at Hope Springs Eternal Production Agency, I'm like creating music. So on Thursday we raised £20,000 for charity. So which was good. It was really nice to just to have fun and meet people, celebrities who you watch on TV, but then when you meet them in real life and they're like normal people. So it was fun. So that's what I do for fun. But for work, I get serious breaking the chains. If you have chains of self-love, you're looking for love. I'm a love harmonist. And for those who are working really hard, the professionals who don't have time to meet women or to meet men, that's what I do. I do all the work while you guys are busy working. And if you are that man who is out there who is struggling with self-love, because in order for somebody to keep that relationship, you got to create your principles, you got to create your boundaries, and you have to know your values, you have to know yourself, and you have to love yourself. You have to have in order to get along with somebody, you got to get along with you. And getting along with you, it means that you got to break the chains of I'm not enough, the chains of rejections. If you are somebody who has been rejected in the past, and instead of carrying that over to another relationship, you got to break it off before you go into that relationship. Ancestral generational curse, that's Carol Annie's favorite, where the blockage of relationship mindset comes from generational, your parents. It could be the things that affected your parents, the things that affected your grandparents, your ancestors, and they are being passed through generations. So we break all those chains so that you become you and not blaming somebody else. So if you are that looking for love, it's very simple. It sounds complicated, but it's very, very simple. It's just working on you, so that you can love somebody else. Because when you love you, it's very easy to love somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. And can I just leave people with this quote, actually, by Dr. Lim? People often think that being hard on ourselves makes us achieve more. But research has shown the reverse to be true. The added pressure of expectation can create a barrier to achieving. So go easy on yourself. Love yourself. Look after yourself and think positively. Spin those negative thoughts, capture them, spin them, and let it all work for you.
So true.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol
true.
Ann. And for those who are watching Ghost Talk Shows, you can head over to my page and my personal profile. Shanda is doing a 5-day challenge. I think it's the last day today. So you can register for free and just go and watch her. She's really amazing. And we are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time, and we are closer to Christmas. Can you believe it?
I know.
Next week, the week after is actually
I know.
is Christmas.
Yes.
Where is the time going?
Yes, I know.
Oh no, it's so before long we were in the new year 2022. Now we're going to 2023. So I think if you have not created your goals, guys, create your goals. And if you don't, somebody who's struggling with their voice, come at Gossip Talk Shows, get in touch with Carol Ann, get in touch with Claudia, get in touch with me, or get in touch with the other people, other coaches. We have different coaches, whether it's finances, business, or mindset, or writing. We have coaches. So whatever you need, we're here. Free consultation. If you feel that you're not connecting with one of our coaches, that's fine. But just get in touch. Let not 2023 be the same like 2022. God bless.
Bye-bye.
And live with grace.